Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Talladega Superspeedway ended not with cheers, but with chaos. It had all the ingredients of a classic: speed, strategy, late race drama. And yet, despite the thrill of the checkered flag, what happened after the race completely stole the headlines. Let's not sugarcoat it. Joey Logano had a disastrous day. While Austin Cindric stood on the top step of the podium celebrating his biggest career win, Logano was already staring down a crisis. Moments after the race, NASCAR inspectors handed down a bombshell. Both Joey Logano and Ryan Preece were disqualified from their top 5 finishes due to rear spoiler violations. It was a stunning twist that rocked the garage, reshuffled the leaderboard, and triggered a wave of speculation that still hasn't settled. Let's rewind. At the end of a physically demanding and mentally intense race, Logano crossed the finish line in 5th. Not a win, but considering the season he's had so far, a very welcome result. The 3-time Cup champion had been trying to claw his way back into playoff contention, and this was finally a step in the right direction. Then came the inspection. Logano's number 22 Team Penske Ford was flagged for a technical violation. One of the 18 bolts holding the rear spoiler was found to be loose. Even though the team claimed it wasn't intentional, NASCAR rules are black and white, especially when it comes to safety and aerodynamics. The rulebook doesn't care if something came loose or wasn't supposed to happen. A violation is a violation. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece's RFK Racing Ford was caught with an extra carbon fiber shim on the spoiler. That might sound small, but in a sport where milliseconds matter, it's a big deal. The punishment? Swift and brutal. Both drivers were dropped to the back of the field. Preece to 38th, Logano to dead last in 39th. All of their stage points? Gone. Logano, who had picked up 9 points that day, was left with just one lonely point for his efforts. Team Penske released a statement almost immediately, confirming the infraction, but insisting it wasn't deliberate. Still, they didn't appeal. Neither did RFK. That silence spoke volumes. But here's the thing. Logano's problems started well before the DQ. In Stage 2, a split-second miscommunication turned into a full-blown teammate conflict. Logano was in a prime position to win the stage when teammate Austin Cindric checked up slightly to avoid potential contact. That tiny hesitation broke Logano's momentum, allowing Bubba Wallace to swoop in and steal the stage win. What followed was a radio meltdown that fans and analysts are still talking about. Way to go, Austin. Way to go, you dumb f... You just handed it to them. Great job. What a dumbass. It was raw, unfiltered, and captured in real time for the world to hear. Replays later showed that Cindric's move was probably the right one. He lifted to avoid a crash. It might have saved the entire field from a multi-car pileup, but Logano, in the heat of the moment, didn't care. And that outburst lit up social media like a brush fire. Even MLB Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, a lifelong NASCAR fan, weighed in on Twitter, saying Logano's blowup was over the top and unprofessional. After the race, Logano tried to cool things off. "We've led so many laps as a team. It's good to finally see someone in our camp get the win. I wish it were me, but at least we're clicking again." But his body language said more than his words. He was frustrated, shaken, and possibly feeling the walls closing in. Let's zoom out for a moment. This is Joey Logano we're talking about, a driver with 3 championships, dozens of wins, and one of the most intense competitive streaks in NASCAR. But 2025 has not been kind to him. One top 10 finish in the first several races, no wins, mounting pressure. And now, this disqualification pushes him out of the top 10 in the points standings, from 8th to 11th overnight. The playoff picture? Getting murkier by the minute. Meanwhile, Austin Cindric was all class. He made no public jabs, no Instagram subtweets, no quotes to fuel the fire. Just quiet focus, and a major win for himself and Team Penske. And that contrast between Cindric's cool professionalism and Logano's boiling frustration is what's raising eyebrows inside the garage. Can Team Penske function if its two drivers are on different emotional planets? Insiders Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi broke it down on the Teardown podcast. Gluck defended Cindric, saying, "It's not like he bailed on Joey. He lifted to avoid a wreck. That's a smart move." Bianchi added, "This is what happens at superspeedways. It's every man for himself, and sometimes your teammate can't save you." But what made the day even more brutal for Logano was the final race result reshuffle. With Logano and Priest DQ'd, the final standings were updated. Kyle Larson was bumped up to second, William Byron to third, Noah Gragson to fourth, and Chase Elliott slid into fifth. That DQ didn't just hurt Logano, it helped a lot of his competitors in the points race. And here's the deeper problem. This wasn't just a single misstep. It's part of a season-long pattern. Logano has been off the mark, and now he's being outpaced by his own teammates, criticized by fans, and viewed with caution by analysts. So where does he go from here? The next few weeks will be absolutely critical. Texas, Kansas, Darlington. These aren't easy tracks. They're fast, technical, and unforgiving. Logano has performed well at them in the past, but he can't afford to dwell on Talladega. He has to reset, fast. Team Penske, too, has some big decisions to make. Do they rally around Logano and help him regain form? Or do they shift momentum towards Cindric, the driver who just delivered a much-needed win and has kept his head down through it all? The internal dynamic at Penske is under pressure, because let's be honest, Logano's leadership is in question, and for a team chasing championships, that's a problem. He needs to do more than just drive fast. He needs to lead better, control his emotions, rebuild trust, and most importantly, start winning again. If he can, Talladega becomes just a dramatic chapter in a comeback story. If he can't, this could be the moment his 2025 season and maybe his long-term role at Penske starts to unravel. One thing's for sure, Joey Logano is now under a microscope. Every race, every pit call, every radio transmission, fans, analysts, and team executives will be watching, waiting, wondering, is he still the driver who can carry a team? Or has the sport begun to pass him by? The answers are coming soon, and the clock is ticking. If you enjoyed this deep dive, let us know in the comments. Can Logano bounce back? Or are we seeing the beginning of the end? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the next video for more NASCAR drama and behind-the-scenes breakdowns.